باش يشجع أكثر وأكثر وأكثر. ما هو السبب؟
Had a guy you looked up to. Who was the player that you always watched and wanted to be like?
That was Isaiah Thomas. That was Isaiah.
This Isaiah.
This Isaiah Thomas right now.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know,
really,
It's got to be pretty cool to be on the court with him now here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just your grittiness, your toughness with the bad boys. And, you know, you
Toughblade.com now to get a year's worth of shaving for just $19.99. Plus, as a bonus, you'll get our micro-touch trimmer for precise grooming around neck, ears, nose, and your Tough Blade, complete with
I've spent thousands on razor blades.
Looks like Jonathan Aspro is going to play it at right fullback with Scott Neville ruled out late on. Eric's border to partner Robbie Caldwaite in the centre of the defence. So it is the Wanderers who get the ball rolling. 90 minutes left of their season. Nothing on the line really except pride. And that should be motivation enough after the season they've had. Not just in the A-League, but particularly in this competition. Let's see how they go against one of the stronger teams in the Champions League, who are making the first attack through Wu Lei.
Well, what an extraordinary start. And they lost the ball. I think it was Lachlan Scott was depossessed, and off they went. Elkerson found himself in space, and he dropped off his two markers. He played it to Wu Lei. Goes past one. Not a great challenge there. And he sums up his options. He's got none other, and what a strike that is. Janjetovic, I think, just gets his fingertips to it. but that is a superb strike from the Chinese international.
Well, he is Shanghai SIPG's all-time leading goal scorer with 108. Make that 109. Incredible start.
Well, we talked about pride, and already that's on the cards, isn't it, with that start? And it goes back to that old saying, I think you'd know the commentator, Simon. They kick off, and it's a goal.
It was almost right from the kickoff, even though Wanderers took it. Extraordinary. Goal number 21 conceded in the group stage.
And therein lies the problem. You saw the table, minus 13 kick-off, and now minus 14. They've been beaten 5-1, 6-1, 4-0. It really has been a disastrous campaign, with maybe that one bright spot with the win against FC Seoul.
The time of the goal has been officially confirmed as 21 seconds. That is the fastest Champions League goal this season. Here's Terry Antonis. Wanderers trying to clear their heads. Lovely ball. Junpei! It's 1-1! Oh my goodness! 2 goals in the first 2.5 minutes. That is quite extraordinary.
Well, terrific burst from Antonis with the perfect weight on the pass. He doesn't have to take a touch, Junpei. There's Antonis, perfect weight on that pass, and just goes across the keeper. And a really good finish, something that's been missing from his game, Junpei, this season. But that's a really tidy finish. Terrific work from Antonis, and wow, I did say in the pre-game, Simon, there was nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose. Going for top spot. Going for top spot. It could be a bit of an open affair. Well, what a start.
It just trickled off the boot, didn't it, of Junpei? But it was enough to beat Sun Le. His first task in the Asian Champions League is to pick the ball out of the back of his net. Sad to say we've got a flare that's been lit on the far side, hence the smoke on that side of the pitch. Which is something we could do without. I thought that had been consigned to history. Anyway. Well, I suppose given the context of what's at stake, or at least the lack of, perhaps no surprise it's an open start to this game. And this is Lachlan Scott. Martinez twisting away from his man, and it wasn't a bad release for Lustica, who unfortunately for Western Sydney was offside.
Yeah, it was good vision from Martinez. Lachlan Scott just opened up for him maybe to cross a little bit earlier. This is the second phase of the attack, and he's just called ball watching there. Even if he had been onside, Lustica's touch let him down.
Well, let's hope the rest of the game continues in this vein. It's going to be an entertaining watch. This is Odil Akhmedov. Layoff for Lin Changyi. Guan for Elkeson, has Zhang Wei on the left flank. And we'll opt to use him now. Wang Jiaji with the mop of blonde hair. Punched down the line by He Guan, but Junpei alive to it. And his pass for Lachlan Scott was somewhat awry. Forward for Lu Wenjun, but the flag is up for offside again, this time against Shanghai SIPG. Junpei making a clever run, and again he's got in behind Wang Jiaji, cuts back onto his left boots, chance for Lustica! 2-1 Western Sydney, and we've had 3 goals in under 6 minutes. What a turnaround after falling behind after just 21 seconds. Remarkable.
Well, and it's a top-class strike as well. Junpei gets behind Jargy. Little ball into Lustica. That's a decent strike. He's just gone for pure power there, not for placement. And it's into the roof of the net. Blasts us past the goalkeeper. Junpei shapes the cross there, comes back inside. The deep run from Lustica to that. Pick him up. Gets that on the half volley. And all of a sudden, the Wanderers, well, gone down 1-0 after 21 seconds, and all of a sudden they're back 2-1, and we haven't even played 7 minutes yet.
Zhang Wei. Steve Lustica has had pretty good renaissance to his Wanderers career towards the latter part of both the A-League campaign and the Champions League season. Scored against Adelaide. Here's Wu Lei, whose goal seems an age ago. Dinks it in beautifully. Oh! And Odil Akhmedov stooping with the header. It glances off the crossbar, an inch or two lower, and would have been back at 2-2.
Wu Lei with the work down the right-hand side, past Shannon Cole. Maybe a slight deflection, and Akhmedov, who's coming late with a free header, crashes it against the crossbar when really probably should have done better.
Junpei looking to reward the run of Lachlan Scott. Wanderers in the mood. Antonis, though, robbed by Lin Changyi. Illegally so, though. The free kick taken quickly out towards Martinez by Bacchus. Antonis has made a run. Not a bad ball in, only partly away. Junpei. And they got bodies in the road. It was He Guan with the block.
Well, Guan just threw himself at it. Decent first touch from Junpei.
Well, this could end up about 5-5, Robbie, I think.
That's right. So open in that midfield area, both sides.
Antonis getting the Falcon inadvertently off Zhang Yi. Here's Lustica onside this time. Nico Martinez. Lustica still available. Dangerous ball in, and it's came off the shin of Lachlan Scott and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, difficult. He's beyond the near post. Lustica and Martinez combining well. Lustica's operating in behind Scott, but he's wandering all over the place. Been on the left, this time on the right. It was always going to be a difficult one for Scott.
Scored a couple of Champions League goals already, Lachlan Scott. Both against FC Seoul. Preferred to Brendan Santalab at the point of the attack tonight. This is Fung Huan. Straight at Causeway. Infield by Martinez for Bacchus, and now Antonis. And out for Shannon Cole. Antonis, whose form has been terrific towards the end of the season. Ever since really he regained full match sharpness. And as you mentioned in the pre-game show, Robbie, I'm sure his re-signing is a priority for Tony Popovic for next season.
We think him and to find a striker as well, top two priorities. And that partnership of Bacchus and Antonis was certainly a huge reason as well, and the form of Santalab that they finished off the Hyundai A-League season. Certainly a lot better than they started it.
Martinez uses Junpei as a decoy, and the rebound might favour Lachlan Scott. And eventually it was Sun Lair who dropped gratefully on the ball. Every time the ball goes forward from either team, really, you fancy there might be a goal. Zhang Yi and for Zhang Wei. Jargy looking to lift it over the top for the run of Elkison. Janjetovic spotted the danger. Wanderers position quickly, and Junpei's making some excellent runs in behind the Shanghai defence. Lachlan Scott on the ball, just got crowded out.
Well, they're just not tracking Shanghai at the moment. The runs from Martinez and Junpei in particular, Lustica as well.
Out it goes off the head of Jonathan Aspero. There's Andre Villas-Boas. Said he wanted his team to finish the job tonight and at least keep Urawa honest. They're away in the Korean capital to play FC Seoul tonight. If Urawa win that game, they will finish first, no matter what happens here. Any slip up by them could open the door for Shanghai SIPG to finish top. They've got a game to turn around here before any of that becomes reality. Here's Junpei. Score of the first goal, set up the second. Lachlan Scott onside. Lachlan Scott never really got full power behind that.
Yeah, I think his second touch there forces him into the strike a little bit earlier. And maybe like to have taken that a little bit further on. It's so open in the middle. Ahmedov, Zhang Ji getting very far apart in the midfield.
They've clocked off, have they, Robbie?
They certainly have. Junpei and Martinez dropping into loads of space. Junpei's had a terrific start to the game.
He's another one that's got a contract to play for. Perhaps get your thoughts as to whether he's done enough after this free kick to earn another chance. Elkasson carefully placing the ball. It's a fair way out, but almost dead straight. Whether he fancies this. He's certainly capable, is the Brazilian.
He's certainly shaping up. Like he's going to take it on.
It's got to be the best part of 30 metres, maybe more. He's going to drive it. He's certainly got enough power, but nowhere near the direction.
Yeah, Janjetovic easily just watches that flash past the post. Didn't even require a wall from that kind of distance. But in respect to your question on Junpei, I mean, look, if you look at him and Martinez are put in the same boat in some respects. Is in those positions, in forward positions, you need a lot more from foreign players in respect to assists and goals. Certainly, we know they're very good, both of them technically, but do they hurt teams enough?
Says Zhang Yi. Through enough for Elkasson. Junpei. Cole. Sorry, go on, Rob.
Sorry, Junpei's playing it clever because one is not coming, the right fullback's not coming with him, so he sits himself inside in the pocket, and once Zhang Yi goes forward, he just sits in behind him, and as it breaks down, he's completely free.
Coolly done by Jonathan Aspero. Interesting job for him tonight. Up until a few moments before kickoff, would have been expected to start at the centre of defence. Quickly readjusted to play at right fullback after that injury to Scott Neville. Incidentally, after 21 seconds, confirmed as the third fastest in Asian Champions League history. Fastest this season, quite easily. It's Wu Lei who lays the ball off, and Shanghai SIPG had a corner off the body of Shannon Cole. Sebastian Soria holds the quickest ever mark in the Champions League for La Queer, the Qatari team, back in 2013. Just lurking at the edge of the penalty area. He's not going to go for this one. Woolay did. Hooked away by Aaron's border. Turned wide by Odil Akhmedov. Lu Wenjun gets away from Cole. Effort deflected. Shanghai SIPG will get another go.
Stuck with him there, Shannon Cole gets the important deflection. That's the side where they threatened the most, down that right-hand side. That's where that wonderful strike from Woolay came from.
Front to the Shanghai SIPG supporters. And towards Elkison, who got decent contact. A little flick on at the near post. Watched all the way by veteran Janjetovic. Kieran Backus allowed to make unchecked progress. Martinez. Lovely ball by Nico Martinez. Picking out Shannon Cole beautifully. Unfortunately, his release for Lustig was rather less impressive, and a strong run through midfield by Odil Akhmedov. He's put it in between central defender and fullback. Woolay trying to square it up, but Elkison couldn't get there. Aaron's border to clear. Exciting player, isn't he, Woolay?
Eliminates the counter-attack players by Akhmedov as Shannon Cole misplaced his pass. Eliminates two players and a perfect pass for Woolay. And you can see he's looking for Elkison. That was perfect positioning from border.
Played 80 minutes. Feels like about 75 with all the Goldmouth action, but it's been great to watch, even without the likes of Oscar and Hulk.
That's just flown by. Real good tempo. As you would expect, one team has to win. So, as you said, to keep Urawa honest, and the Wanderers with absolutely nothing to lose. Finish their season on a high.
Showed pretty good character to rebound. After that early goal by Woolay, particularly the way their Champions League campaign has gone this year. Here is Woolay. The ball run across his body. Oh, great feet. Still going. Woolay around the goalkeeper. Too wait for the centre. He hangs it up towards Elkison. And Corns waits. And then Terry Antonis, I think, managed to scramble the ball clear. But what wonderful skill again by Woolay.
His feet so quick. And that last one that takes him around Janjetovic might have taken the wrong option there, maybe just to maybe slide that underneath. Janjetovic just took him a little bit wide in the cross. Certainly didn't have any pace on it, and Elkison couldn't generate power with the header.
Turned over in midfield by the Wanderers. Even without those big name stars, Shanghai SIPG has still got plenty of quality. This is Zhang Yi. Odil Akhmedov. There's a bit of pace on that release for Guan, who's got around Junpei. Not bad delivery, but it's falling behind Elkison. Won back momentarily by Zhang Wei. Spin by Steve Lustiger, and Junpei moves it on towards Lachlan Scott. He'll get it back now off Lustiger. Shannon Cole outside him. Goes centrally for Lustiger instead. And Tonis They got bodies in the way. Came off Akbadov, who will now lead the charge forward for Shanghai SIPG. Wu Lei will track that one down. Faced by Cordswain. In towards Elkeson, who took it with the outside of the left boot. And again, another wonderfully flowing move from end to end.
That was the Wanderers attacking. 2 passes later. This is the danger man so far. Wu Lei, ball into near post, and he's beyond the near post, so he can't, even though with the outside of the left foot, can't get it on target. This Wu Lei with those great feet. Cuts inside, goes outside again, and then just dragged it too far past Janjetovic. They had enough bodies to deal with the header from Elkeson.
How about the little sand wedge just to chip it up for Elkeson as well? Very gifted player. This is Zhang Wei. Ball for Elkeson, who takes a tumble. Oh, referee says penalty. Had no doubts. Aritz Border, who's not had the happiest of campaigns since joining the Western Sydney Wanderers, concedes the spot kick.
And he doesn't complain, but what a way, the way Elkeson cushioned this ball past Border. Clear foul, clear penalty, no hesitation from the referee. Because the ball in from Zhang Wei, it was difficult to control, but he made it look easy. Cushions it past Border, who's committed to the challenge. Easy decision for the referee.
Well, he wasn't meant to be playing, was he, Aritz Border? Drafted in late to the centre of the defence. I'm not saying that's the reason. Elkeson has scored a penalty against Guizhou in the Chinese Super League at the weekend, with a chance to drag it back to 2-2. No problems. Strike down the middle by Elkeson, and parity restored. Won the penalty and scored the penalty.
Picked himself up and goes straight down the middle. Banks on the goalkeeper going one way or the other. Janjetovic diving to his left-hand side. Here's the replay of the clear foul from Border. There was no complaints from him. Cool as you like, straight down the middle. Not a lot of height on it, so not too far away from it, that right leg of Janjetovic, but coolly taken.
If he stays where he is, the goalkeeper, he saves that quite easily, doesn't he? Anyway, it's easy to save from up here. So make that 19 goals in 40 Champions League games for Elkeson.
It's not a bad record, is it? But yeah, if Janjetovic does stand there, he saves it, of course. Probably controls it, but if he doesn't go down the middle and he stands there, everyone says, well, why didn't you dive?
Elkeson, who cost $25.5 million.
The Chinese Super League at the moment, the ability to attract not players anymore past their prime, but in their prime.
Told they will also spend this year $23 million on their youth development program. That's just this year. They're about to build a new 50,000-seater stadium in Pudong in the city of Shanghai as well. When your owners are worth $17.5 billion, it's spare change, like $10 for you, Robbie.
Yeah.
Here's Elkeson, scorer of that equalising goal from the penalty spot, getting away from Martinez. Lin Changyi trying to return it to the Brazilian, too far ahead of him. Lin Changyi getting a rare start. Actually plays in Wu Lei's position more naturally. That berth is pretty much reserved for one of Chinese football's brightest talents. Thirteen shots in the opening 26 minutes. Quite often, Robbie, it does work out this way with the old dead robbers, doesn't it? You think, well, it's not going to be a great game, and it turns out to be a classic because the teams are relaxed, they can play with freedom.
And we talked about what would be the players' attitude, particularly the Wanderers this evening, but I think we've seen that. Say what you want, maybe about some of the defending, but...
Oh, risky ball by Aspro, and Wooley is away from Arit's border. Now, what about his composure? Oh! Well, he took it with his right foot. Perhaps the left would have been better, and dragged his effort wide of the post. A real let-off for the Wanderers.
But what about the speed? Absolutely incredible. Border's got no chance of catching it. And then you said about the composure. Well, he tries to go on the near post when really the other side of the goal is completely open. And he opened himself up. So, yeah, he could have hit it with his left, but he still made it possible to hit it with his right. If he just lifts it, goes the other side, you're 3-2. But what about the speed in which he pounced onto that ball?
Shanghai SIPG showing very much of their focus is still on this game. They've got a big Chinese Super League encounter to come on the weekend against Tianjin Teda. They are in second spots in the domestic competition at the moment, just a couple of points behind perennial rivals Guangzhou Evergrande, who they lost to 3-2 a few weeks back. Try and bend one in behind. Run of Lu Wenjun, picked up in midfield by Odil Akhmedov. Out towards Zhang Wei. Elkeson. Lifted over the top by Lin Changyi. Free kick Wanderers. Now Daniel Garb has been waiting to speak to us on the sidelines, I think, for about 10 minutes. Sorry, Garb, we just didn't get a chance.
It's all right. It's been one of those games. Bit of feeling it might be one of those nights, didn't we, boys? Poor Scott Neville barely sat in his seat before the first two goals went in. He was due to start it right back tonight, but withdrew during the warm-up. He said it's just soreness for me tonight. So his final evening with the Wanderers before he goes back to the Perth Glory doesn't end the way he would have liked. Tony Popovic, no dead rubber for him. He's pretty concerned, scribbling notes in his little black book as feverishly as ever. And Andre Villas-Boas as well, boys, a little bit concerned. Interesting watching him. Whenever he's got a message to transmit to his players, he relies on his assistant coach who translates in Chinese.
Good work, Garvey. Here's Junpei, who was very impressive in the opening stages. Antonis. Shannon Cole. Did well there, Cole, because he was off balance. Kieran Backus, not quite as impressive. Not quite sure what that is from Shannon. If that was a pass, it's probably going down as one of the worst of the season.
No, he probably didn't realise he had a little bit more time, and he was worried about Akhmedov closing him down.
I'll tell you what, he found Andre Villas-Boas
Beautifully, yes. I felt that Villas-Boas could have attacked that ball a little bit better.
What do you make of the purple tracksuit, Robbie?
And
Would that suit your colouring?
Oh, definitely not. That'd be a dusty look if you ever seen one. Purple tracksuit. Oh, it's just not going to happen.
Half an hour played. 4 goals, plenty of entertainment. This is Lu Wenjun.
And the game's settled into more of a pattern now. Shanghai just a little touch of control on this game in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Shannon Cole, the occasion of his final game for the Wanderers, trying to thread it through for Junpei. Tied it up by Heguan. Tonis just letting the ball get away from him, and he then lunged into the challenge. It's going to be the first booking.
He's a little bit unlucky, but he's stretching. He's going for the ball to retrieve it. But he leaves it a little bit late, and that's where they've got to be careful. That's where they pounce and counter very quickly. He's lunging for the ball, but there's no question. Don't have too many arguments with that. Terry Antonis.
Clearly catching Lim Chang-yi.
This man's been largely the reason why they've got a bit of control of this game in the last 10 minutes. Is Akhmedov has started to really dictate in front of that back four.
On the face of Tony Popovic. He will, of course, be hoping that perhaps Uruguay can do his team a favour. If they can pick up at least a point tonight, they will avoid finishing bottom, which would be something. Really, Robbie, in general for Australian clubs, it's been a pretty miserable campaign, hasn't it? Just 3 wins in 16 group games ahead of tonight for the 3 clubs.
Yeah, not good enough, and look forward to a campaign next season that's has many more happy memories. Which I think you were the one that came. Well, you gave me that stat of the 5 heaviest defeats in ACL history out of the top 10.
Con in 2017. Yeah, it's been pretty slim pickings for the A-League clubs.
I see. I told you I'd give you credit for that. I did steal it.
I told you could use it. That's what colleagues are for.
Feeling the love.
To go to the break. It's been a pretty good first half. Caldwell to try and lift it over the top for the runner Lachlan Scott. Watched carefully by Hegwan. This is Fu Huan. Short for Akhmedov. Sets everything moving for Shanghai. Fire it out towards Wule. Can't be split in terms of possession, nor on the score sheet either. And Chang-Yi. Akhmedov. gets on his bike, and Akhmedov will try and find him with a searching ball over the top. Baker's got to be careful, had his pocket picked. Akhmedov, and still with Akhmedov, and it's going to get away from Woolay. That's happened on several occasions now. The Wanderers just caught in possession in their own half of the pitch. Kieran Bacchus has been the guilty party more than once.
And that's the danger, and that's where Akhmedov has been excellent in the last 15 minutes. He's quite often the one that pinches the ball and starts the counter. Of course, that wasn't a counter because he's pinched the ball deep into Wanderers' territory. He doesn't sit in front of the back four. He ventures forward as well, and when he ventures forward, it's Chang Yi who sits back and covers.
Lin Changyi, lovely ball. The no-look pass for Woolay. Danger potentially for the Wanderers. Lin Changyi. And for Fu Huan, the right fullback. Nodded clear by Border. Rerouted via Lin Changyi to Zhang Wei. Lin Changyi always fading away with that left hand upright. Andre Villas-Boas likes it though.
I think the Wanderers were quite relieved he took the strike on here. A long distance, well off target. Again, moving the ball well. A little bit quicker to those second balls at the moment.
Good opportunity for some of those French players for Shanghai to impress their coach. It's the third of 7 games in the space of a calendar month for SIPG. So they're going to need to use that squad rotation method, you'd fancy. Manoeuvre it out towards Aspro. Now with Antonis. Martinez. Squared up for Bacchus. A clever touch by Kieran Bacchus. And goes to the return and gets it too off Shannon Cole. The Wanderers push their noses in front once again before half-time. Start again through Antonis. Bacchus had remained wide left. Lustica driving towards the penalty area. Jumpe's offside. There's a move that had promise.
He just drifts a little bit too early, and it's quite clever from Jiaxi, who's a Soldier play and just stepped up, leave him in an offside position.
Heavy touch, readjusted well. Aspro. Woolay with the block. It's been a joy to watch in this first half. Set the ball rolling after just 21 seconds with that stunning strike. Actually linked with a move to French club Nantes last year, didn't eventuate. And imagine on the strength of what we've seen over the 2 games against the Wanderers, he's certainly got the ability to play in European football, Woolay. Whether he's got the application and the other stuff, who knows. Here's Cole. Scott trying to protect the ball. Might pop out for Nico Martinez. Antonis. Nicely done with the outside of the boot for Junpei. Shannon Cole, he's not quite got there.
Yeah, it's a shame the pass from Junpei, and he knows it. Overhit. Just the execution, because Cole was in behind. Always second best to get to this ball clearly over the line. And unlike the first 20 minutes, they've just found it more difficult to create things in that front third. It's a real crazy game in the first 20. We saw Villas-Boas just adjust a few things, particularly in the middle of the park with Akhmedov and Zhang Yi. They certainly settled a bit better. Junpei hasn't found the space that he was finding in those opening 20 minutes. It's been a terrific contest.
Onside, Boulay clearly wasn't. Which might have caught the Wanderers off guard. Square by Bacchus for Antonis. Cole. Antonis again. The space really well, but he's just slightly overcooked. And pass for Jonathan Aspro. Slight miscommunication involving Akhmedov and Guan and goalkeeper Sun Le. Wanderers back in control through Robbie Cornthwaite here. Lustica. Antonis closed down very quickly by Zhang Yi and Elkasson. Moving the ball around quite nicely, the Wanderers. And it goes for Shannon Cole on the left. Junpei, top of the box. Can he pick out the goal, or even Lachlan Scott's? He very nearly squeezed it through, didn't he? Good save by Sun Le.
Oh, and a terrific turn as well. A little burst of speed, and it surprised the goalkeeper Sun Le because he takes the shot quick. Comes inside and see how quick. Little back lift and nearly surprised the Shanghai keeper.
Offside position as we move into the final minutes of the first 45. Akhmedov trying to curl it around Jonathan Aspro. Just about got enough on it. Part of his learning curve in a different position tonight. He's had a very good season though, Jonathan Aspro. To do a man's job. Central defence for much of the A-League campaign due to Nikolai Topol-Stanley's departure, and really you'd have to say the failure of Arons Border to live up to expectations. And Aspro has been the beneficiary of that. Into first half stoppage time. Of the Shanghai SIPG defence by Bacchus, and Lachlan Scott was alive to that possibility. So too was the goalkeeper. Zhang Yi told to cool it.
Yeah, a little bit flat at the end of the first half, and both coaches reasonably pleased, maybe with with some of the defending, but some of the attacking players have been first class from both sides. The movement, particularly in that 20 minutes from the Wanderers, and the more control that they've had now, Shanghai SIPG.
Well, certainly the fans that have paid to watch tonight will be pleased. They've had their money's worth. 21 seconds on the watch when Wu Lei gave Shanghai SIPG the lead. And then just as quickly, Junpei and then Steve Lustica giving Wanderers the advantage before Aritz Border brought down Elkerson inside the penalty area. And the Brazilian duly converted from the penalty spot. There's been plenty of good football and chances besides that. And at the interval, they're all square. Western Sydney Wanderers 2, Shanghai SIPG 2. first change of the match. Young midfielder Zhang Huachen is standing by on the sidelines to make his entrance. The Wanderers encouraged, no doubt, by that first half display, looking to avoid bottom spot in Group F. There is the young substitute. Interesting story surrounding him. He's only 19. Now, you'll know the regulations in the Chinese Super League that the clubs now have to field one, or at least one, under-23 player. He's started all 8 Chinese Super League games this year, but talk about cocking a snook at the rules. He's not played longer than half an hour in any of those 8 games. They start him and then they sub him off early. So if he gets through 45 in the second half here, then that'll be his longest playing time of the entire season so far. And there is Wu Lei alongside him. Scorer, as we said in the first half, of the 3rd fastest goal in Champions League history. The fastest was by Sebastian Soria for the Qatari club Laquia back in 2013. That came after just 7 seconds. Wu Lei's tonight a lazy 21 seconds. So a familiar position for the Wanderers, who've had 12 draws, of course, which is a record in the A-League. Season just gone. And as Elkeson gets the ball rolling in the second half there, level once again with the Chinese outfit Shanghai SIPG. If the second half is as entertaining as the first, Robbie Slater, then we should be in for a treat.
We'll be very happy. Well, it certainly settled down the second half of the first half, I'm going to put it like that, but there was still plenty of openings. I think the Wanderers probably finished slightly on top. Jumpe with that final chance as he got him behind down the left-hand channel, but it'd be interesting if that number 17 plays more than half an hour. That's an extraordinary stat you come up with.
Well, the new rules, of course, introduced this season because powers that be want to give young players an opportunity, but by the looks of it, Shanghai SIPG are just saying, well, OK, we'll start with one and then bring him off after about 10 minutes. He came off after 16 at the weekend against Guizhou. And, of course, then leaves Andre Villas-Boas with only 2 subsequent changes to make. So it's a bit of a gamble by SIPG, but that's the way they're choosing to play it domestically. No such rules exist, of course, in the Champions League. And he's replaced another youngster, Zhang Yi, for the second half. This is Odil Akhmedov. Really grew into the game after a rather sloppy start alongside Zhang Yi in those midfield areas. This is Lu Wenjun, who fires one across. Way too much pace on that for Wu Lei. Scooped up in the air rather scruffily by Cole. Laid off by Martinez for Jonathan Asprey. He's put it too far in advance of Steve Lustica and out by Wang Jiaji. 28-year-olds who came through, as many of these Shanghai players did, the Zhenbao Football Academy. The club itself was started by a man called Xu Zhenbao. 22 of their 30 first-team squad players have come through that academy. Little wonder they invest so much money in it. Charged down unfairly by Kieran Bacchus. Had a bit of a mixed first half. Some good moments going forward. High boot there, but occasionally caught in possession.
Yeah, a couple of times, particularly Akhmedov was the one that depossessed him. Possessed him.
I'm pleased you cleared that up. A break here kindly for Fu Huan, who's got around Shannon Cole, got a touch of good fortune, and well, it was a substitute, Zhang Huachen, who was just trying to readjust, but he was always falling backwards and scooped his shot.
Yeah, well, that was the problem.
Over.
That's past Shannon Cole. Got a lucky ricochet there, but he's leaning backwards and can't dig it out. Get the shot required.
Martinez. Junpei off on a run. A few of those in the early stage of the game were really effective for Western Sydney Wanderers. Martinez leaves the return for Cole short. This is Wu Lei. Elkeson. Wu Lei again. They've got an overload on the left. A little bit slow in transition. Akhmedov. A little bit short for Zhang Wei. Intervention by Aspro. Fu Huan. Good header by Border.
Interesting, Wu Lei's gone into a more central role now with Hu Chan, the substitute, playing more on the right-hand side.
Well, he's certainly capable of playing as a number 10, isn't he?
Yep. He just rotates with Elkeson as well. They both like to drop in between the lines to get into that little space. That's a foul from Scott. But you know, that's the problem for Border and Cornthwaite, is whether to go or whether to stay. And of course, with Bacchus and Antonis, not to have too much space between them, the back four and those two screening midfielders. So there's little space for those two players to drop into.
Junpei and Lustica trying to make it a little bit more crowded in that midfield area, but Shanghai SIPG, so talented, they can't just play around teams. This is Akhmedov again. There's the commentator's curse. But he's a super player, isn't he, by and large, Odil Akhmedov. Remember him scoring that long-range peach of a goal to open the 2011 Asian Cup for Uzbekistan against Qatar.
Well, they've come out and dominated possession at this early period of the second half, Shanghai.
74% of the ball in the opening 6 minutes of the second stanza. And it goes from Janjetovic. Good win in the air by He Guan. This is Martinez. Shannon Cole pushing forward from left fullback. Lachlan Scott trying to get his body between defender and ball. Start again through Robbie Cornthwaite, Western Sydney. Junpei. Border for Cornthwaite. It's a good piercing ball from Cornthwaite to find Martinez. Moved on quickly by Antonis, not with the greatest of control. What about that challenge? Zhang Huaqian a little late on Antonis. Just the throw. With Martinez in hot pursuit. And the whistle goes in favour of the Shanghai fullback, obstructed by Bacchus. There was a little tug on the jersey as well by Nico Martinez. Zhang Wei, placed by Aspro. He's around him. Decent delivery. Flicks off the head of Lu Wenjun. And Wu Lei able to wrap his boot around it. It's a dangerous ball in by the left full back with his right foot, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and got forward. The release from the centre half Jargy was top quality as well. Roulé just a little bit late arriving. Elkerson was well out of the picture.
Zhang Wei, whose recent performances have been so good, he's been singled out for special praise by Andre Villas-Boas. Some of his teammates have even suggested national team coach Marcelo Lippi might take a look at Zhang Wei, the number 2. Josh Sotirio being readied off the bench for the Wanderers as their first change. Here's an interesting scoreline from the other game in this group. Seoul 1, Urawa 0. So I wonder if Shanghai SIPG are keeping across events in the South Korean capital. It means another goal for them here. And if it was to stay the same in Seoul, then Shanghai would finish top of the group.
Well, you'd have to think that they had got ears on that other game.
Odil Akhmedov can drive them from long range, as mentioned a few minutes ago.
Oh, and he got a hold of that as well. Janjetovic perfectly positioned. A whistle through the air. Straight at the Wanderers goalkeeper.
Elkerson. Oh, slips it through beautifully. Oh, he's offside, Woolay. And full marks to Vedran Janjetovic as well. It wasn't to know that the flag had been raised. And had to make himself big, and did.
Yeah, the mistake, I think it was from Cornthwaite, and Elkerson pounced onto it. Luckily, Wooley's taken off earlier than he needs to, really. He's so quick, he can give himself an extra half yard behind the defender. For me, being the outstanding player on the pitch.
Superb. Superb. Shifted on quickly by Lin Changyi into an area for Lu Wenjun, and again Janjetovic is out and brave and did the job for the Wanderers. Excellent goalkeeping. Just sends Shanghai SIPG starting to build some real momentum. It's going to be a double change, in fact, for the Wanderers shortly. Brendan Santalab's going to come on as well. There's Josh Sotirio.
Yeah, look, I think since the opening of this second half, it has been all Shanghai.
Here they come again. Fu Huan on the right. 3 in the box to aim for. Elkerson is one. Couldn't quite get it out, but from between his feet. And the chance is gone for the visiting team. Oh, Lachlan Scott's dragged back by Hae Guan. That's got to be a yellow card. Confirmed.
Easy decision for the referee, but a real good chance for Shanghai at the other end with Fu Wan, who's been a feature down the right-hand side in the second half, and got it to Elkerson, who just got it stuck between his feet, didn't he? Couldn't get the touch needed to get the next touch, which would have been a striker goal. And Popovic deciding that they need a bit more energy.
Yeah, so Lachlan Scott replaced by this year's top goal scorer in the A-League, Brendan Santalab, with 14, and Steve Lustica to give way in favour of probably a little bit more pace on the flanks in Josh Sotirio. So positive double change made by Tony Popovic. So they try and wrestle control back. Shannon Cole neatly sidestepping Woolay. Martinez, a little glance to see where Shannon Cole was. Set up again through Cornthwaite, Bacchus, Cole, Martinez, Antonis. That's well played by the Wanderers. Aspro for Bacchus. And out for Shannon Cole. Fires it in low towards Martinez, who shifted it brilliantly from one side to the other. Still going, Martinez, and his effort is deflected behind for a corner. That's their best work of the second half.
And a terrific ball from Shannon Cole.
Antonis to deliver. It's a pretty ineffectual corner, you have to say, from Antonis. This is a strong run. Two. Aspro's touch. Antonis. Oh, it's behind Junpei. Wasn't the right option, really. Sotirio. Only been used sparingly in this year's Champions League campaign. Brendan Santalab, his first start in the last game against Uruguay. Prior to that, he played just 20 minutes. But he's in on the action here, and onside. Good sliding challenge by Zhang Wei.
Right, he just caught him as well.
See by the grimace that that is exactly the case. Aspro looking for options. Most players. Very crowded on the edge of that 6-yard box. Martinez and Antonis discussing matters. Just reminding players he's across everything. Changi just dangled out a leg to stop that run. Shannon Cole, who has just under half an hour of his wondrous career to run. That's why he's wearing the armband tonight. Perhaps to claim an assist on his last game for the club. Squares Fires it up short instead for Bacchus. Antonis. Sotirio onside. Couldn't direct his header goalwards. Good chance.
Yeah, the ball from Antonis takes a big deflection, so it takes the pace off it. So Sotirio has to generate power as well as direction, and really can't do either. Difficult one, not an easy one from that position. I think maybe there, if he catches it on his chest, maybe.
The substitutions have perhaps livened the Wanderers up a little bit. Created a couple of chances.
Yeah, they've had a better period since those two have come on.
Akhmedov. Deflected away towards Higuan. This is Fu Huan. Bend it around for the run of Wu Lei. Shannon Cole sticking to his task. Well played, the skipper. Odil Akhmedov. Gets it back off Elkeson. Wanderers have stolen it. Bacchus for Aspro. It's not really his go, is it, to bomb down to the byline? More naturally a central defender. So they check and feel for Josh Sotirio. Thought about the shot. Antonis. Too much on that.
Yeah, hasn't put in many bad passes this evening, Terry Antonis.
Well, that's a pity. Wu Lei is going to be withdrawn. We've enjoyed watching him.
Maybe a surprise as well, given that Uruguay are still losing on that goal to FC Seoul.
Well, he's been a pleasure to watch. Scored that goal after just 21 seconds, and there's been plenty more to enjoy besides that. I'm sure he's a young player, still only 25, that we're going to hear an awful lot more about, certainly with the Chinese national team. So on in his stead is Li Shenglong. Here's another player with an interesting story. He was banned for 6 months last year for falsifying his age and making himself 6 months younger on his passport.
Oh, I'd like to do that, but more than 6 months.
I was going to say, it'd be more than 6 months. You and me both, Rob. Good header by Cornthwaite. Martinez. Sotirio. Squares it up. Oh, it's beyond Junpei. Will reach Santalab, though. Back inside for Antonis. Bacchus. Antonis. They look to change the point of the attack again, and they've manoeuvred it nicely out to Shannon Cole. What about the cross? It's not bad. And Zhang Wei taking evasive action. Corner for the Wanderers.
Nice, terrific play from Shannon Cole. Great skill to make that half a yard, and it's a real quality dink to the back post and no one attacking it. Finishing off his Wanderers career with a really good performance, Shannon Cole.
Indeed. Let's see if this corner's a bit better. That's the right sort of area for Santalab, who threw himself at the ball. It pops out for Martinez, who'll recycle it out through Antonis again. Still plenty forward for Western Sydney. Hung up towards Cornthwaite. And a good play by Sun Le, who had his jersey grabbed then by Robbie Cornthwaite. When you've got a player that tall, we've said it before, Robbie, you've got to give him a chance to get on the end of some of those crosses from the set piece, and I don't think they've been particularly good from Western Sydney today.
No, they haven't been. Even that one from Antonis, which was with the left foot, Very easy for the goalkeeper, that kind of cross.
Here's one of the substitutes, Lee Shenglong, back for the other, Zhang Huaqian. Zhang Hui on the left, Lin Chonghui. Lee Shenglong for Elkeson, and he got good power behind it and direction.
Yeah, you see the quality there, because very difficult to get any sort of strike on that ball from that position, but he did.
Yes, Sotirio using his speed to get in behind the Shanghai SIPG defence. It actually bounced off his shoulder, which is a little bit unfortunate for Josh Sotirio. Here's that previous effort.
Yeah, so the header back broke from Shen Long. Look at this. Quick touch and a...
Great touch.
And off. Maybe nearly the same movement. Getting off the shot.
Minutes to go in Campbelltown. Oh, a mistake by Akhmedov, a rare error from him. Gets it back quickly enough. Nobody seems to want to kick the ball. Substitutes busying themselves. Zhang Huaqian in particular there, worrying Aritz border. Oh, that's careless. Akhmedov on Cole. I think he might end up back in the A-League next season, Shannon Cole. Says he's got some offers, he won't reveal from where. He got no exclusive for us, right?
Oh, I didn't know it was an well, he's keeping them very close to his chest. Yeah. Well, look, you can only judge him on his performance tonight, and he's still got plenty to offer, hasn't he? The thing with Shannon Cole is he can play a number of positions as well. He's very versatile.
Good squad player.
And he's a good character.
Left out in the cold for much of the A-League season by Tony Popovic, but didn't whinge about it. Got on with his job. Here's Junpei. Asprey. Antonis. And Bacchus. Junpei. It's a neat little ball by the Japanese winger, and they manoeuvre it towards Nico Martinez. His shot is deflected and thumped away to safety by He Guan. He's had little moments, hasn't he, Nico Martinez, to show his undoubted quality. The other factor, Robbie, in these closing stages that we should be mindful of is the fact that it's 18 days ago that the Wanderers went out to the A-League finals. They did play that game in Ottawa a few days after that, but now out of season, so your match conditioning goes very quickly.
Especially in the build-up to this game, and look, I think the effort and their application's been terrific from the Wanderers, but psychologically you can't get up when there's something riding on a game, to prepare yourself, particularly mentally, the games that you know is a lost or a dead rubber. But I think they're finishing a little bit stronger than Shanghai.
Yeah. Handball by Sotirio. He felt he should have had the whistle. Moved on quickly by Akhmedov. Lee Shenglong trying to weave his way through traffic. Akhmedov. It's the time to have a little look. Of course, there might be something riding on this game in terms of Australian teams and their participation in the Champions League next year. I wonder if we'll still get the 3 spots given the performances of our clubs in the Champions League this year. All out in the group stage. I don't know whether it works on the same coefficient as the UEFA equivalent. This is Elkeson. He's got away from Junpei. A little bit too extravagant with the cross. And that would be a disappointment, Robbie, if we were to go back to just 2 clubs in the Champions League.
Well, if the performances aren't there and that's the way they judge it, then we have to take it.
Now, linesman's flag is up because the goal kick didn't reach the edge of the penalty area, so they're going to have to go again. Kieran Backer's taking control of the ball. It has to go outside the 18-yard box, which is a rule that is sometimes taken advantage of by defending teams when they're closed down quickly by attackers. Maybe something that should change. Forward by Cole. Wang Jiaji was there. Sliding in was Courtois. Third and final change for Shanghai SIPG. It's going to be with us shortly. Still have one substitute up their sleeve, should they wish to use him. Antonis. Oh, good first touch by Martinez. Sotirio now in an offside position. Martinez slaloming around one player. A release for Santalab. He might have been offside anyway, Brennan Santalab. Sundler coming to claim. He gets it a little scruffily.
Well, Martinez, as he broke there, he should have played in Sotirio, who was at full pace. And if he had slid that one through, I reckon he goes one-on-one, Sotirio, because they were very square. He had plenty of time to release it. Yeah, I think that gets to Santalab, he's offside.
And those are the sort of moments you were talking about earlier with Martinez, Robbie.
Exactly. You got to, better decisions.
He's contributed 8 assists in the A-League this season as Shanghai SIPG make their final change. And it's going to be like for like. One left fullback for another. Zheng Zhiyun for Zhang Wei. He's been pretty good working that left flank. And this young man, 22 years of age, is of Korean descent. He's yet to make his Chinese Super League debut, but has featured off the bench a couple of times in the Champions League. Here's his first involvement. It's not quite eventuated into the goal fest we thought it might.
I was about to say that. A long time ago, those first 20 minutes.
Just tuning in, it was 2-2 after 22 minutes. A real blitz of goals in the opening stages. Things have tightened up somewhat since. It's good work by Antonis. Junpei on the move. He fell there. He was by Lin Chengyi. Maybe just asking the question as to whether there should be a booking for Shanghai SIPG number 15. He was certainly nowhere near the ball. Tony Popovic likes it. Maybe not the refereeing decision, but the run from Junpei. Terry Antonis sizing up the opportunity. Just a fraction over 10 minutes to go. Fairly significant wall guarding that near post, but it's far enough out for Antonis to get the ball up and down. If his technique's right, it's not bad. Good save by Sun Le.
That's a great effort from Terry Antonis. Probably about the same distance, if you remember Elkerson trying one in the first half. That was much better and had Sule stretched to his right-hand side. I mean, it's a save you expect him to make, but it was a really good technique from Antonis.
Work the corner short for Bacchus. Zhang Huaichen flying in. Clever dummy by Bacchus. This is Martinez.
Well, again, it's another set piece that really I don't think they make the most of.
Still might work out for them. Scramble clear.
Yeah, they got very tall bodies in there. Cornthwaite, Border.
Here is Cornthwaite. Still forward from the previous set piece. It's not going to drop for Junpei. Bacchus. Out for Sotirio. Oh, it's not a bad ball by Sotirio. Just too far in advance of Junpei. Wanderers having a good little period here. Antonis.
Yeah, look, I think they've dominated really from about, what, 80 minutes now, probably around the 70th minute, maybe a little bit earlier even.
You surprised Shanghai haven't pushed more for this winning goal that might just take them in a top spot?
Yeah. Well, they look tired.
Yeah.
They're certainly not throwing as many bodies forward as they were in that first half, or the start of the second half, but maybe it's just the Wanderers are finishing stronger and forcing them back. They're very deep.
Fully committed challenge by Jonathan Aspro and Zheng Zhiyun. He's been penalised by the ref. Looked like a 50-50 to me. Replay might tell us differently. What's your take, Robbie?
Well, it's 50-50 for me. Both going for the ball at full throttle.
Confirmation that Lin Changyi actually did get a yellow card for that challenge on Junpei. Perhaps why Tony Popovic was giving him the thumbs up. Here's Elkerson. Oh, what a try! Goodness me! That fairly fizzed over the top.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it didn't dip. It looked like, it's basically stayed at the same height. It's Shenlong.
Li Shenlong.
With a terrific, and it dips too late for him. Skips inside, wraps his boot around that. Terrific strike. And because he's hit it with such power, it didn't dip till right to the end. Shenlong, who started off on this right-hand side, is now operating down the left. Haven't seen much of him last 10 minutes, but that was a really good hit.
Brendan Santalab getting a warning from Turkey Al Qudai, Saudi Arabia. SIPG searching for the winner that might just give them a home tie second up in the round of 16. That's what Andre Villas-Boas wanted from tonight. Potential to finish first and play the first leg of their knockout game away from home. Shannon Cole a little bit clumsy on Lu Wenjun. Another chance for Shanghai SIPG to throw up on two of their defenders. Wang Jiaji has taken his position just on the edge of the box. Elkerson, of course, such a powerful player. Lu Wenjun to deliver. Martinez And then Sotirio dealing with him. There might have been a foul on Sotirio. Not given. In towards Elkeson. He's trying to protect the ball.
That's well defended.
And Antonis gets it upfield. Santalab looking for scraps. And he's trailed that leg out and upended Fu Huan.
He hasn't had much to sink his teeth into since he's come on, Santalab, has he? Hasn't really been that kind of game since those substitutions were made. It certainly, I think, turned the game in respect to the Wanderers dominating possession when Santalab and Sotirio came on. I think that's got as much to do with maybe the substitutions for Shanghai as well. A lot of quality left the field.
Just under 5 minutes to go. Elkeson. It's a decent ball. And the return, Elkeson, oh, just set up nicely for him, but he couldn't readjust the body and steer his effort goalwards. Lin Changyi. Zhang Zhiyun. They'll go through Wang Jiaji. Fu Huan was the target. He's now caught hopelessly upfield, and the Wanderers could profit, but Sotirio's release was not what Martinez wanted at all. Credit to Sotirio, at least he got that goal side of Akhmedov to make the tackle.
But it was a really good situation. 3-on-2 they had. Played that ball a lot. It's not a long ball, but it's a high ball. Around the halfway into the inside channels, and for Border and particularly Cornthwaite, it's just been very easy for them to win those headers.
Yeah, Elkeson's not had a lot of decent service second half. That's one chance that he had just some moments ago. Couldn't convert. Here's Martinez. Gets it out to Shannon Cole. Is this the moment for the Wanderers? He's crossed way too deep. And Antonis has then felled his opponent.
What a shame.
Pity.
Because Martinez got it exactly right there. The release to Shannon Cole. Got himself into a good position and couldn't quite find a decent cross. Antonis was always second best against Shen Long there. Well, still plenty of time for a winner. But I can't disguise a little bit of disappointment that we didn't have more of the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's still been a good contest, though. And the Wanderers, you know, a lot of the questions around them was how would they turn up for this game. Well, you know, they put in a really good performance.
Kieran Backus. Junpei. Neat little layoff for Martinez, who rides the challenge of Lin Changyi. Lovely little scoot forward. Junpei! And there's probably the winner from Josh Sotirio. No offside flag. And they might just have nicked it at the end, Western Sydney Wanderers.
Oh, terrific play from Martinez and Junpei. And Sotirio gets the tap home into an empty net. Martinez first. Look at this for a little, like a pitch wedge, isn't it? Junpei lifts it over Soulet.
Well, Josh Sotirio gets the credits for the goal, but Nico Martinez with the delightful little scoop forward. Junpei's touch took out the goalkeeper. And Sotirio did the rest. And maybe a disappointing season for Western Sydney Wanderers. is about to end on a high note. I'm sure it would give them a massive confidence boost. They've not quite won it yet. But you have to say, Robbie, they have, in patches at least, the more likely in the second half.
Oh, they have. Since the opening of the second half was definitely dominated by Shanghai, but after about 20 minutes, just when those substitutions were made, the Wanderers took control, and two little scoops. One over the defender, Jumpai over the goalkeeper, and Sotirio gets a tap in. And I was just saying that it's been a good performance, but it's even better now.
Well, there might not be enough to lift them off bottom spot because Seoul is still leading Urawa by 1-0. We're into stoppage time here. Shanghai's hopes of finishing top are surely gone, even if they were to get an equaliser here. Tony Popovic wants to send on Keanu Bacchus for the last few minutes. He's going to have to wait for the next break in play. Shanghai with a free kick, which Lu Wenjun will take. They stream forward. Elkeson arcing the body back to try and loop it over the top of Janjatovic, who will surely now take all the time he needs. Yeah, no hurry from the goalkeeper. Just to correct, of course, what I said. If Shanghai do get another goal, of course they will finish top because Urawa are losing. Got caught up in the moment. Talking of which, the end of an era for Shannon Cole, who gets the congratulations and the hugs and the handshakes from all his teammates. The referee's not hugely impressed. Well, congratulations to Shannon Cole, the last foundation player left at the Western Sydney Wanderers. Jared Tyson was there at the start, but he's been away and comes back, or has come back, and Shannon Cole leaves the field as a Western Sydney Wanderer for the final time to be replaced by Keanu Bacchus.
And what a nice touch. Just over 5,000 people here. Shannon Cole gets a standing ovation and a hug from his coach.
Antonis, cheeky. Not quite. Martinez can't make further progress. Apologies for the confusion about how the top of the group is going to finish. Math's not my strong point, and it's been a long season, Robert. 3 minutes of stoppage time almost up, and it looks as though Josh Sotirio's late strike is going to win it for the Wanderers. Santala still busting the gut. Last moments of the season. There we go. It is all over in Campbelltown. And the Wanderers have won it. They salvage some pride in their final game of the season. Josh Sotirio with the late winner, and a handy scalp too for the Wanderers in Shanghai SIPG, albeit without the likes of Oscar and Hulk. Some revenge for that 5-1 mauling in February, some hope next year for Tony Popovic as the Wanderers head off into the long off-season. A game that started with a flurry of goals. Wu Lei, after 21 seconds, for Shanghai SIPG then. Junpei and Lustica putting the Wanderers 2-1 up inside 6 minutes. Elkeson equalising from the penalty spot after 22. And then late drama with Josh Sotirio off the bench and onto the score sheet. And it is the Wanderers who win it by 3-2.
What did you make of the challenge of Western Sydney?
Yeah, crazy game. I think crazy first half. The way it started was pretty shocking, I would say. I think after the second goal that they scored, we leveled things. So I think we deserved the equalizer, and I think the game was going to finish 2-2. I think both teams had chances. Definitely didn't think that was going to suffer in the end. But the boys did everything. We made some changes, also some rotation to give a few minutes to the boys, and they deserved a little bit better result. But we are through. We now play Jiangsu Suning, so that gives us another great challenge for the last 16, and I hope that we can do our job.
Yeah, you had top spot for the majority of that game and lost it right at the end. Do you still think you can win the Champions League from this position?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, had we finished first, Jeju are the leaders of the Korean League, so they would also propose a difficult challenge. So, I mean, it's a knockout phase, anything can happen. We lose the home leg advantage, but as I was telling you before, maybe it's not so bad.
Thanks, Andre. Good to see you in Australia.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we're going live. Simon, thank you very much. I'm with Shannon Cole. Shannon, you've been here since day one. It all ends tonight. You had a wonderful reception when you came off. Where are the emotions at right now?
Just happy. It was a fun night. You know, I just really wanted to enjoy this with the boys. It's not. Tonight wasn't about me, even though it is my last game for the club. It was about the team. You know, going out. I mean, we set out at the start of the year with very big ambitions and a lot of hard work and sacrifice. Things didn't go our way in the league or in the Champions League, so tonight was about trying to finish on a high and you know, signing off with a great group of boys. Been very privileged to play with this year. Tony Popovic spoke glowingly about you pre-game and your relationship together. What are your thoughts the other way? I mean, I owe my pretty much my entire football education to Popper. First, he was my captain at Sydney FC, and believe it or not, when he became a coach, he lightened up a bit. But I mean, I owe so much to him, and you know, there's a reason I've been here for so long is because I truly believe in his philosophy and what he's been about all this time. So I wanted to be a part of it because I believe that was the best way to try and win trophies and to constantly improve as a footballer and as a human being. So it's a very, very high pressure environment here. It's not for everyone, but for me, I almost became addicted to it over the years. And yeah, it's the lessons I've learned here I'm very grateful for, and so many amazing experiences that I'm sure I'll reflect on someday. But for now, I want to go into my next playing journey and take everything that I've learned here and all my experience and apply it to a new challenge with a new team. Well, good luck with it all. You've done this club, though, a wonderful service. You should be very proud. Yeah, thanks. And thank you to everyone involved at the Wanderers and of course, my family, my media family, my extended family, and most importantly, my wife and my daughter. Well said. All the best. Cheers.
Kellyanne wanted to distract it.
Senator Fluke of Arizona questioned.
still without Pepe and
Marcelo will be key to...
still without Pepe and Gareth Bale through injury. Real still... Without Pepe and Gareth Bale through injury. Rafael Varane, who missed both legs of the quarter-final through fitness issues, replaces Nacho at the back. And Isco is the beneficiary from the absence of Bale.
Well, with Ronaldo and Isco tucking infield to support Benzema, fullbacks Carvajal and Marcelo will be key to Real's attacking game plan. Ronaldo being the main threat when crosses come into the box and the main target.
UEFA resisting any temptations to use Spanish officials for this domestic tie. Like in the final last year when Mark Clattenburg showed his worth, they've gone for a referee from England. It's Martin Atkinson. Atletico without their regular right-back Juan Fran, the versatile Jimenez also unavailable. So the French defender Lucas Hernandez comes into a reshuffled back line. Midfielder Saul scored the crucial away goal at Leicester in the second leg of their quarter-final. Antoine Griezmann may be tempted away in the summer, but he's still the main danger to Real Madrid tonight.
Well, Atletico will play with a narrowed midfield four. They will stay compact from back to front and then look to counter-attack through Griezmann and Gamero when the ball changes hands.
Two La Liga meetings this season. Cristiano Ronaldo got a hat-trick in the away game for Real Madrid. They won 3-0. It was a 1-1 draw here only last month. And away we go in the first leg of the semi-final. As you can see, a change strip for Atletico. And Varane. Probably grateful to have a little bit of early defending. Nothing too difficult. They are strong, they are resilient, Atletico. For all the improvement that Diego Simeone has brought in the last few years, they're still regarded as the poor relations in their own city. Here's Modric. A little bit high on Dani Carvajal. The fullbacks could be important, Stuart, for Real Madrid.
Absolutely. We talked about Atletico Madrid playing with a narrow midfield four. Real Madrid, Ronaldo will tuck in. Isco will play sometimes in behind the two strikers, Ronaldo and Benzema. So it does mean there'll be space for Marcelo to get forward down that left-hand side and Carvajal down the right-hand side, as they did for this man in the tie against Bayern Munich.
Well, two very different personalities in charge of the team. Zinedine Zidane, as you saw there, usually cutting a very calm figure. Calm is not the word that you would apply to Diego Simeone. He buzzes around his technical area and sometimes beyond. Godin stepping in. And it will just run through to Keylor Navas.
Yeah, it's a good attempt at a pass. Gamero trying to get in behind the very quick Varane. Just overhit.
Marcelo. They've played each other so often in recent seasons. You do feel it will be a tie when Very fine margins indeed. So much knowledge about the opposition in each camp. Here's Carrasco, scored in the final. But, you remember they lost it on penalties. Already Diego Simeone is seeing something that he wants to pass on to his players.
Well, the first thing to take note of is that Savic, who we thought might be playing at right back, is actually playing as the centre-half, his normal position. And it's Lucas Hernandez who's playing at right back at the start of this game.
It's a poor kick by Navas to Carrasco. Atletico unable to build on that. Benzema beaten to it. Carrasco. Varane stepping in. Touch for Isco. First real involvement for Ronaldo. About that, no surprise that the shot comes at the end of it. But just a sighter.
Yeah, good play from Real Madrid. Played around the initial pressure down one side of the field. Ronaldo found that bit of space, but I think Benzema would have been disappointed the ball wasn't rolled through to him. Benzema just trying to run in behind Savic here. Had the ball rolled down the side of the centre-back.
Nice touch from Modric. Champions League games so far this season, but they have not kept one clean sheet.
Atletico Madrid won't mind Real switching the play slowly and playing in front of them. So if they switch it quickly and get Marcelo out on that far left-hand side.
There's Felipe Luis. Left for a season for Chelsea. Anchored for a return to former pastures. Here is Lucas Hernandez. Playing for Atletico Madrid as his father did. Felipe Luis. Followed his pass. And he's still involved here. Griezmann.
Well, we've talked about Marcelo getting forward for Real. Felipe Luis has done it quite well for Atletico Madrid so far. Isco tucking in field, allowing the left back plenty of space.
Griezmann. Saul, Koke and company are strong players across a narrowish midfield for Atletico Madrid. Never any great surprise in the tactics of Diego Simeone. Industrious team, did absolutely everything for the coach, and have really improved as a club. I say they're probably not as appreciated in their own city as they are now around Europe. Their reputation has been quite rightly blossoming. Here's Modric, Dani Carvajal. Very nicely worked. Carvajal is in. And it came out to Benzema, couldn't do anything with it.
Well, we talked about the forwards. Carvajal doing really well down this right-hand side. Tries to bend it with the outside of his right foot. He had to start it that little bit wider. He'd have got it into that far corner. There's the danger.
And here comes the corner. Taken by Kroos. Modric. Bent in by Isco. Diego Simeone, of course, was a fine player, as indeed Zidane. And the other dugout was. Here's Dani Carvajal, showing what he's made of, and it just came awkwardly to Benzema. Could have been a tap-in if it had been slightly to one side.
Felipe Luis tried to read the ball inside and then got the 1-2 played around him. Godin came out quickly, was nutmegged.
Nicely done by Benzema. But used a foul on Cristiano Ronaldo.
The last set play looked as though Real Madrid had 2 players attacking the ball. Godin had just lost his marker.
It was from a delivery by Kroos from a corner, as it will be from this free kick from the opposite side. Sergio Ramos, of course, has scored in 2 Champions League finals against Atletico Madrid. He's poised to try and continue his excellent run upfield. Comes out to Marcelo, who also scored in that first final in 2014. Modric.
Actually on as a substitute
for Contrao. Ronaldo. Cut with Isco. Comes out to Casemiro. Cleverly lofted pass. Ronaldo trying to get in behind, and there wasn't much space, but they've got the corner from it.
Well defended in the end by Lucas Hernandez. Just went back with the run of Ronaldo.
It's Toni Kroos again. Headed out by Saul. Sergio Ramos to plant it in. Casemiro, and in the end, who gets on to tuck it in? It's Cristiano Ronaldo. Somehow, like a magnet, the ball goes to him. A miss-hit, but he's turned it into the opening goal of this All-Madrid Champions League semi-final.
Well, they had a lot of players back in there, Atletico Madrid. But again, the player that anticipates, is aware of the situation, gets in front of his marker. It's Ronaldo. What a box player he is now. He was offside when that first ball was played. He didn't go for it, but he's certainly not offside here. Casemiro with the assist. Savic, does he throw himself at this enough? I'm not sure he does. He wins the first ball in the air and then doesn't get tight enough. I think he could defend it a lot better here. Almost turns away from it and allows Ronaldo to get his head on it. It's a good finish, but not good defending from Savic.
So dangerous in the air. And that's Champions League goal number 101. He had a bit of a lean spell after the first 2 group games. Put that right in the quarter-final. 2 away, 3 at home. Well, he's made a decent start to extend that extraordinary sequence. Here's Gamero, not able to force a way through. Only took 10 minutes. Modric.
You were talking to me before the game and gave me a couple of stats. Atletico Madrid, the best defensive team when it comes to balls in their box heading. Real Madrid, one of the best at scoring with their head. Whether it be Ramos coming up from a set play, whether it be Ronaldo getting across the front of defenders. So it's a major gamble by Simeone. He always plays this way by allowing the fullbacks lots of time to get crosses in. It wasn't the case for the goal. That's going to be a key aspect of this game.
But as we say, sometimes mishit shots go in when they shouldn't. And a mishit ball by Casemiro found Cristiano Ronaldo reacting in that extraordinary manner. He's not the player perhaps who's going to run past you from the halfway line anymore, but in the penalty area he's got wonderful predatory instincts, and he's just come up trumps again.
Here's the shot come cross. It's a powerful header. As soon as it was falling to Ronaldo, you knew it was going to be a goal.
Gabi trying to rally the troops, but it's a flyer for Real. Koke. Felipe Luis. High press from Real Madrid.
I think it's fair, something we don't always see from them.
Maybe the fact that it's English officials here has encouraged them to believe that the physical side of the game will be allowed to go as well, a little bit further than maybe if it was a domestic official. Here's Marcelo stepping in. Run back by Carrasco, switch to the right. Isco, seeing plenty of the ball. Now two other candidates to start in place of Gareth Bale, but Zidane has taken as many opportunities as possible to get Isco into the starting lineup. Never quite had the regular place that perhaps he expected when he came here. Could be a good night for him tonight. Varane. Flick from Ronaldo, not quite finding Benzema. Modric. Carvajal is certainly a player who's developed through the course of this season. It's undoubtedly the first choice right back.
Looks like they've just changed their tactics slightly here. Felipe Luis is going to get a little bit high. He's going to often be the first player to press Carvajal. That's why Carrasco's gone on that far side. Koke's just going to tuck in, now come to the left.
Here's Benzema. He's out off Savic, going from Fiorentina. Well, that he was at Manchester City for a season in which he was a squad player in a Premier League winning outfit.
There's the main threat from set plays, Sergio Ramos. Varane's not bad in the air either.
In by Kroos. Headed out by Saul. Left Carvajal back. Sergio Ramos. Rather bashful in staying forward. Here's Marcelo. Reflection in the penalty area. I think Martin Atkinson was in the mood to answer those yells in the affirmative. Gives the corner instead. The retirement of international